Okay, so we're back. Let's get into this Saturday morning current events.
Earlier today, Hoover police detectives obtained warrants for the arrest of Carlee Russell through the Hoover Municipal Court for her actions related to faking her kidnapping and subsequently making false statements to detectives as they investigated this case. Her decisions that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation as the concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait. Numerous law enforcement agencies, both local and federal, began working tirelessly not only to bring Carlee home to her family, but locate a kidnapper that we know now never existed. Many private citizens volunteered their time and energy into looking for a potential kidnapping victim that we know now was never in any danger. This story opened wounds for families whose loved ones really were victims of kidnappings, some of which even helped organize searches in hopes they could find Carlee's alive so her family would not experience the pain and suffering that they felt when their loved ones never returned home. As we know, actions can have consequences, and that's why we're here today. This afternoon, Carlee Russell, with the assistance of her attorney, turned herself into the Hoover City Jail, where she was arrested for the following charges: false reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor, $1,000 bond; falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond. Each of these charges carry up to a year in jail and potential fine of $6,000 upon conviction. Ms. Russell was released from jail after posting bond. We initially presented this case to District Attorney Lanice Washington, who agreed to handle prosecution through district court. After consulting with the Circuit Court of Jefferson County Bessemer Division, the case was referred back to municipal court for charging because the only applicable charges were misdemeanors. Judging from the amount of phone calls and emails that we've received from people all over the country, I know many are shocked and appalled that Ms. Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors, despite all the panic and disruption her actions caused. Let me assure you, I too share the same frustration, but existing laws only allow the charges that were filed to be filed. I can tell you that I will be contacting our state legislatures on behalf of law enforcement in Montgomery and asking them to look at this law applied to these facts and urge them to add an enhancement to current legislation when somebody falsely reports kidnapping or another violent crime.
That's good. That is very good because it needs to be enhanced. A misdemeanor is not enough. There has to be consequences for this. A lot of people were crying and saying that, what about, when white people do this stuff? It's like, look, if white people want to be known as the people who harbor criminals and mentally ill, deranged psychopaths, that's on them. But for our communities, let's be the ones that are actually upright and actually hold our people accountable for the stuff that makes us look bad as a whole. Unfortunately, that's too much of a intellectual feat for some blacks to understand on the social media apps. But blacks in the offline world, they completely understand the dangers of trying to cover for some individual who is a danger to society, okay, and will cheapen the lives of those who actually have been abducted. They know those people are a danger to their neighborhoods, and they're not going to shield them because they're black.
Because of the attention this case has garnered, we've requested Attorney General Steve Marshall's office adopt this case, and they've agreed to do so. The Hoover Police Department wants to thank everyone that assisted us from the beginning and continues to assist us in this case as we work its way through the criminal justice system. Joining me at the podium today is State of Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall.
Thank you, Chief. Let me begin by commending Hoover Police Department Chief Durgis for his leadership in this investigation. Obviously, this captured many's attention as a result of not only the allegations themselves, but also the concern about a possible victim in being able to return her home. The work that was done by the Hoover Police Department was monumental in its lift, and the results of that work you are seeing come to fruition today with the charges that have been levied. I also want to commend the many other men and women of both state and federal law enforcement for their work collaboratively with the Hoover Police Department in assisting in this investigation. Chief, appreciate the opportunity to be able to partner with you in this prosecution. We will dedicate a team to be able to help the city of Hoover in handling these two individual charges and look forward to bringing this case to fruition. One thing I would add is that we don't see this as a victimless crime. There are significant hours spent, resources expended as a result of this investigation. And not only that, but the many men and women who are civilians that wore those yellow vests on a hot afternoon and evening looking for someone they thought was abducted, trying to be of assistance. We intend to fully prosecute this case and look forward to working with the Hoover Police Department moving forward. We also would tell you that we will continue to monitor this investigation to determine whether or not there are any additional charges that need to be brought, and we'll evaluate those as the facts are presented.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we'll open the floor to questions. If you'll please raise your hand and identify yourself and your affiliation when I call on you. Thank you.
All right. Let's look into this. Into the article right here. All right. Carlee Russell, the nursing student who sparked an extensive statewide search after claiming she was kidnapped, has been charged with 2 misdemeanors. Russell, 25, who made a chilling 911 call on July 13th, reported a toddler walking alone in the middle of the night along an interstate in Alabama, surrendered to police on Friday, just days after admitting she fabricated the story. Okay. What's going on? All right. 25-year-old was released from jail after posting a $1,000 bond. That's ridiculous. The bond should be higher. Russell was charged with false reporting to law enforcement and false reporting of an incident in Hoover, Birmingham suburb. The charges are punishable by up to 1 year in prison. Hoover Police Chief Nick Dersis expressed frustration with the misdemeanor charges, but said no laws allow for more severe charges. They probably weren't anticipating someone pull a foolish stunt like this. Judging from the amount of phone calls and emails that we receive from people all over the country, I know many are shocked and appalled that Miss Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors, despite all the panic and disruption her actions has caused, Dersis said in a press conference on Friday. Let me assure you, I too share the same frustration, but existing laws only allow the charges that were filed to be filed. Russell disappeared for around 48 hours and then returned to her parents' home on foot with minor injuries. She claimed she was kidnapped and taken in and out of several cars before escaping the woods. Okay. Well, hopefully, like I said, Dersis has said that he is trying to upgrade those charges. Okay, that it will be severe the next time someone pulls this. All right, but let's get into this story right now when it comes to what Just Hilarious has done by standing up for women, even though I do believe it's pretty much too late. Okay, because women, especially Black women, have arrogantly thought that there would be no problems. Okay, there would be no problems with the Transformer Decepticons being in their spaces and not thinking that they would try to invade it, try to one-up them, try to say they're on the same playing field. Well, let's see what T.S. Madison has to say about Just Hilarious. Remember, ladies, the blame is at your feet, especially with Black liberal women who thought this was perfectly fine.
From Mona, please. She herself has experienced transphobia because there has been numerous times that men have said that, and this is from her mouth, not mine. I never called her a man. I never said that she looks like a man because contrary to what you guys say, I don't think that Just Hilarious looks like a man. I do think that she has masculine energy. I think that she might be a female, but she possesses lots of masculine energy. What's up, yo son? What's good? But she does not look like a man to me. And I never stated that she looks like a man. However, she has masculine energy, masculine tendencies, masculine stuff, but she still, yet again, and she still is a female. And that does not take away that women at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, when I stated that women suffer from transphobia as well.
No, they don't. Okay. No. Nobody's afraid of you guys. Nobody. Okay. Nobody's afraid. Okay. That has to be put out there.
That doesn't mean that she doesn't get this. Obviously, because the next day academics posted that, all this time I thought that this was a man. Now, you know damn well this girl don't look like no motherfucking man, but she does have masculine energy. No, he was being messy. No, he was being messy. He was being very messy. I was pointing out that in her own words. And so I do believe that she's experienced this.
The thing is though, with T.S. Madison, not she. The proposal that comes from her is the fact that we should take away the cis and take away the transformer. That way, they're both on the same team. By doing that, you're going to cause a lot of problems for the transformer community, and a lot of them are going to get hurt. Okay? Jess Hilarious is saying the things that every other sane black person has to say, that they don't want to be pressured into spaces where they're being forced to date transformers when they don't want to. That's what T.S. Madison doesn't understand. Okay? But let's hear from another person what they got to say about it.
In an uproar about who can bleed and who can't, men have become so obsessed with women that they want to turn into one. And I find it quite flattering that womanhood seems so great to you guys. Y'all know me. You may not like what I got to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. In recent conversation, there's been a lot of uproar between trans women and real women. In my opinion, I think the most misogynistic thing that a man can do is reject his biology as a man and go into women-dominated spaces telling other women how he's a better woman than them because it's based off of his feelings of how he perceives a woman to be, while walking in society emulating what he believes a woman looks like by replicating other women. When we're discussing womanhood, I cannot go to another woman and ask her what it feels like to be a woman, because being a woman is not a feeling. However, being a woman, I absolutely am subjected to my reproductive organs that identify me as a woman. And saying that doesn't mean that I'm less than a woman. It just means that that is the beginning of my woman origin and my woman experience. And for the women who can't have a baby, we still recognize those women as women because they do have the reproductive organs to do so. However, we also understand that something is medically wrong with them. I will give credence to the fact that women are not the only people who have a period if we're identifying them that way, because non-binary people or trans men actually can also have a period. But
no, they can't. No, they can't. No, they can't. Okay. This is where it's getting crazy around here. All right.
At the basis of it, we call those biological women. However, when you're talking about trans women, we understand that that is something that biologically impossible you cannot do. The power struggle here that comes into play is when there is a very small minority of people imposing onto a larger group of people that are telling them what they would like to be called, how they would like to be treated, how they would like to be pronounced, and how they would like to be identified. But then you're imposing terminology onto them that they have yet to accept. So I must appease your feelings calling you by the pronouns that you identify with as, because you have chosen to make this decision about putting on a wig and putting on nails and putting on a dress. However, when I tell you I reject terms like birthing person or breastfeeder or real woman or biological woman or cisgendered woman, at this point, then I should just understand and accept it because science says so. But science also says that the basis of your DNA, you are biologically a male.
Yeah. That really puts it right there. All right. That really just hammers it home. Okay. But let's go on to the other one. Oh, she's not done yet.
The conversation of trans women and real women is still circumventing on the internet. There are a couple other things that came up along the lines of this topic that definitely need to be addressed. And y'all know me. You may not like what I got to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. The most frustrating thing about this entire topic is when you speak on it, people automatically assume that you're uneducated because you're in the adverse of it. Let's be clear. I absolutely understand terms like androgynous, intersex, LGBTQIA+, gender dysphoria, non-conforming, etc., etc. I think y'all get the point. And address the elephant in the room, the idea that women don't own periods. Well, actually, the autonomy and anatomy of my body implies that I do. And in the event that I was attempting to oppress you, I would simply make ways where you could not get one. However, a period is not like a STD or a cold. You can't catch it. I can't pass it along, and I can't prohibit you from getting one because nature didn't give it to you. That's not something that I can control, but I absolutely own it because my body makes me own it. To crystallize it for you, if women had the power of oppressing trans women would not be integrated into women-dominated sports, nor would trans women be considered Woman of the Year. However, we know that that's not true. I also find it quite ironic how the word transphobic is being passed around like a hot plate. However, the main reason why the conversation is even being had is because a trans woman said things that were deemed disrespectful towards women, and now you guys want to ostracize that one trans woman as if other trans women don't have those same feelings and tell women how to respond to disrespect. The gaslighting in this situation is kind of crazy, you know.
I agree. The gaslighting is kind of crazy. And they think that they are trying to, they're not jealous of women. Yes, you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone through the process to even look like one. Okay. You wouldn't even try to invade Black Girls Rock festivals. And it got to a point where even women, normal women, had to say, get out, get your own space. Okay. That's what had to be said. But unfortunately, like I said, liberal women, you're at fault for this. This is your fault. You decided that you want these people in your spaces. You want to be friends with them, never thinking of the fact that these people want your spot. Why else would they go through the surgery and everything else? They want your spot. They want to be considered like you. And I've had conversations with a Black woman about this on Facebook years ago, and they were very cocky and thought that no, they're not going to do that. They're not. But look what they're doing. Even laws are passed that they can invade women's sports, invade schools. Even drag queens having story time. They're trying to force this as normal. But unfortunately, the Black community is always a day late and a dollar short when it comes to this. And they always ostracize the Blacks like myself and many others, whether offline or online, that try to, sound the alarm. And they say that, we're phobic, or, you probably, you're doing too much. A lot of the ghetto terminologies, the ghetto shaming. And now when the chickens come home to roost, you start crying and you want to speak out, but it's too late. Too late. Let's see what Corey got to say about this. Let's see what the good old Corey Holcomb got to say about this now. All right.
Arguing if a man is a woman and if a woman is a man. This is the saddest time. It's just getting worse. We going further and further down the rabbit hole as a society, and the people who are pushing this agenda are laughing that their plan is working. A man is a man. A woman is a woman. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. If you are arguing with a man who has on a dress and lipstick, you are fucking your life up. That person is absolutely insane.
Yeah, man. Pretty much. He's just kicking the truth out there, man. He's just kicking the truth out there. All right. That's what he's doing. But let's check out something right here that is people will get mad about this, but this is what's going on. All right. He's right. You know why? Put this out here, because this is what's going on. Here we go. Transformer Democrat lawmaker arrested for trying to grape toddlers. Democratic lawyer who became the first openly transformer politician in the U.S. has been arrested for sexually abusing minors and attempted to grape toddlers. Stacey Lawton, 39, has been federally charged with the sexual abuse of very young children and aiding and abetting by the U.S. Attorney's Office District of Massachusetts. Lindsay Groves Lawton's former girlfriend was a teacher at the Tinsboro, Massachusetts Daycare Center who helped Lawton, a former NH lawmaker, gather sexual images and has been charged with child exploitation. Groves allegedly used bathroom breaks for the children, such as diaper changes, to take explicit pictures of the children in the bathroom and would send photos to Lawton. Postmillennial.com reports that there were over 2,500 text messages between Lawton and Groves on the phones obtained by the prosecution. These include at least 4 sexually explicit pictures of children between 3 and 5 years of age. According to the Boston Herald, in one alleged text from Groves, she said to Lawton, "I want to do this with you, with one of my kids." And this text was in conjunction with a picture of the focus on the private parts of the prepubescent boy. Lawton allegedly responded, "I also need to be honest." I mean, I ain't going to read the rest of that. Other text messages allegedly talked about the couples hooking up with each other as well as with kids. Grove was employed by the daycare from 2017 up until June of this year, according to the Boston Herald. On Monday, the mother of one of the boys of the daycare filed a lawsuit against the businesses. The suit said, as a direct and proximate result of the defendant's negligence and carelessness, as well as the invasion of his privacy, the plaintiff's minor son was caused to suffer and will continue to suffer. The suit alleges that the daycare had been told as early as 2018 by a parent that Groves was inappropriately touching children under their care and that the business did nothing to protect the children. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, District of Massachusetts, the charge of sexual exploitation of children provides for a sentence of at least 15 years and up to 30 years in prison, at least 5 years and up to lifetime of supervised release, and a fine of up to $250,000. Dude needs to be in general population. That's all I gotta say. Put him in general population. Problem will be solved. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna also get into the story of Obama's chef, how he mysteriously was deleted. You guys also know the fact that this is the second chef that has been deleted. All right. Let's get into that. More information has come out as well.
Lie. The personal chef of former U.S. President Barack Obama was found dead. His name was Tafari Campbell. He was 45 years old. On the 24th of July, Tafari was fished out of the Edgerton Great Pond near the Obama residence in Massachusetts. The police said that Campbell died while paddleboarding. 4 days on, several uncomfortable questions have sprung up around Campbell's death. Was it an accident? Or did something sinister happen? Social media is filled with theories, including the claim that Campbell was secretly writing a tell-all book on the Obamas. The police have denied any foul play. But do they need to dig deeper? Let's first tell you a little about the man who died, Tafari Campbell. He is a familiar face in America, especially among those documenting the lives of American presidents. Campbell was a chef at the White House during the Obama administration. He shot to fame in the year 2012. When he helped brew the first batch of alcohol on White House grounds. In 2012, Campbell brewed ale using honey from the beehive set up by Michelle Obama on the south lawn of the White House. Obama's term ended in 2016. Before leaving the White House, the Obamas asked Campbell to join the family as their personal chef. He agreed. Campbell has been working for the famous family ever since. He has also appeared in numerous videos and photos with them. It won't be so wrong to say that Campbell was popular in his own way. Which is why it becomes really strange that the cops reportedly did not take down some very important details of the crucial 911 call that was made about Campbell's drowning. It all happened on Sunday. The other 911 calls made to Edgartown Police Department that day have all been logged into the system, along with very specific reasons for the calls. Except this particular call that was made a little before 8 p.m. on Sunday night. That evening, Campbell went out paddleboarding. Reports say...
You all think that's nothing strange with that? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
he was not alone. Campbell had company. But who that was, the cops won't tell us. Around 7:46 p.m. that evening, the police received a 911 call. They were told a man was drowning. It was Obama's chef. Who made that call? Another unnamed person. The cops say the person who accompanied Campbell tried to help him out of the water, but he couldn't. So the fellow paddleboarder swam to the shore, told another person about what had happened, and this person, the second one, called the cops. Reports further say that a female was on the line. The emergency services then rushed to the Obama's ultra-luxurious waterside estate. This one. The family bought this 7-bedroom house in 2020 for $11.75 million. It happens to be on Martha's Vineyard. It is a 150 square kilometer island where America's elite holiday. Initial reports said that there wasn't any word on the whereabouts of the Obamas at the time of this incident. Now we are told that they were very much on the island, just not in their house at the time that Campbell drowned. After the SOS call was made, the emergency services came to the estate with divers and sonar boats. A search party was deployed. But they couldn't find Campbell that night. A neighbor though found Campbell's paddleboard, but his body would only be discovered the next morning. Campbell was found 100 feet from the shore in around 8 feet of water, and more than 12 hours after he fell into the water. The police say that the chef was not wearing a personal floating device. Also, he was not leashed to the paddleboard when he fell into the water. Reports say the water was calm that evening. So what led to the incident? The accident. The police say that there is nothing suspicious about Campbell's death. He fell into the water and drowned. Simple.
Really? But you have video evidence that he's a great swimmer. Doing the backstroke even. Right. Yeah. Right. Nothing happened at all. Nothing happened at all, man. Yeah. Truth is coming out about this president, man. The truth is coming out. Okay. Police refused to deny Obama was second paddler when chef drowned. The Edgerton Police Department, EPD, has refused to reveal the identity of the second paddler who was with Barack Obama's long-term personal chef when he mysteriously drowned at Obama's Martha Vineyard estate. As the People's Voice reported, 45-year-old Tafari Campbell drowned after being reported missing from Obama's residence on Sunday night. Monday morning, Campbell's body was recovered from a shallow pond at the Obama's estate where he had been paddleboarding in water a few feet deep. Campbell was not on the water alone and was reportedly paddleboarding with another person. However, the police are refusing to name the person he was with. At 7:46 p.m., a 911 call was made to report that he had fallen in and could not make it back to the surface. That call is noted in Edgerton Police Department's logs, but the reason for the 911 call behind it is left mysteriously blank. Remember now, this is the second chef that died connected to presidents. The last one was connected to the Bush and the Clintons. The origin of the call is also listed as Wilson's Landing, the paddleboard launch site. The site is 2 miles from the Obama's mansion on Turkey Lane Cove. However, Massachusetts State Police originally stated that the first 911 call came direct from the Obama's residence. Edgerton Police Chief Bruce McNamee told the Daily Mail that the call log is generated by the Dukes County Sheriff's Office. McNamee said he could only speculate on the reason for the call being left blank. He argues that it may be because the caller from the Obama's property didn't dial 911, which automatically generates a location data, and instead made a direct call to the business line. The police chief also said the address was listed as Wilson's Landing because the public launch used as the command post. At the same time of the call, authorities didn't know where the drowning occurred, so used the staging site for the incident location, according to the police chief. The Obama's extravagant property boasts a private beach from which a paddleboard can easily be launched. Questions also being raised about where the Obamas were when the incident had happened. The Obamas office first claimed that Barack and Michelle were not at their Martha's Vineyard estate at the time of the drowning. However, the story later changed when it was revealed they were on the Martha's Vineyard, but not home during the incident. That makes no sense. But Campbell was reported missing on Sunday night and found dead on Monday morning. So it is unclear why the Obamas would be on the island, but not at their home. The maximum length of the island is 20.5 miles. So everywhere on Martha's Vineyard is easily accessible with a short drive. It is also unclear if the Obama's daughter, Sasha and Malia, were also in town, were at home, or out with friends or parents. The Obama's office has yet to issue a statement to clarify who was in the house when Campbell's drowning occurred. Dispatch calls between the emergency services on Martha's Vineyard confirmed that there was a second paddle boarder on the water with Campbell. They also confirmed that the original 911 call to report what happened came from an unidentified female who by 8:18 p.m. was out on the water on a boat going back and forth, presumably looking for him. We met with the reporting party. She is on the boat with two individuals, and they're going back and forth as well, said one of the rescuers at 8:23 p.m. It's unclear if the mysterious female is the same person Campbell was paddleboarding with. Campbell's body was recovered on Monday at 10 a.m., more than 12 hours after he fell into the water. He was found 100 feet from shore in around 8 foot of water. Yet further adding to the mystery, Campbell prided himself on being a skilled swimmer. He frequently posted videos and images onto social media showing himself swimming laps. One video was even revealed with the hashtag survival skills, which makes his tragic drowning in the shallow water all more perplexing. Massachusetts State Police have concluded that Campbell's death is not suspicious. Yeah, this is really just, people are not going to let this go. They're not. People already know, people who are smart already know about the secrets behind the Bushes, the Clintons, and the Obamas. All right? People already know. They're not dumb. They're not asleep. No, Bush got a lot of secrets. And the Clintons definitely have a whole lot of secrets, a cemetery of secrets. And the Obamas, pretty much, especially with, $65 worth of pizza. Okay. All right. So let's get on with the fact of Hollywood solving this writer's strike problem with this.
And just as the strike focuses in on residuals and artificial intelligence, Netflix is hiring more AI tech workers.
Actors say they want to have more control over how their images will.
That just says there are going to be a lot of replacements. A lot of people are going to be on the unemployment line now. Better fire up the Indeed.
Be used. KTVU's LaMonica Peters live now in Los Gatos near Netflix headquarters with more on the jobs the company is offering and how actors are weighing in. LaMonica.
Netflix recently posted for an AI product manager position that could pay up to $900,000 per year. Now, a tech reporter says that job postings like these indicate that Netflix will continue to use AI, especially as it improves.
I don't expect them to back away from AI. We just expect to be compensated fairly.
Thousands of actors with the Screen Actors Guild have been on strike for over a month, and the use of artificial intelligence for content is one of the major issues actors and writers are negotiating. Oakland-based actor Michael Sommers has a show on Netflix and has been a SAG-AFTRA member for 28 years.
One of the concerns is that I could develop a character that they fall in love with, and then they don't need to hire me anymore in order to portray that character.
Netflix and other production companies show no signs that they won't continue using and developing AI technology. This post on Netflix's website says it's hiring a product manager for machine learning or AI that could pay up to $900,000. Board president for SAG-AFTRA's San Francisco chapter says actors should have a say about compensation and how their images are used.
Well, what they want to do is to take a background actor, for example, and scan their image, pay them for half a day. Background salaries are not that high anyway. Pay them for half a day and then use their images in perpetuity and put them in the background here, there, everywhere.
Just last week, Los Gatos-based Netflix was the target of SAG picketers. Tech reporter Ian Scher says AI technology has vastly improved in the last few years, and many companies, including Netflix, are testing how best to use it.
There you got it, man. There you got it. People are finding ways to cut corners, finding ways to just, cut out the middleman. It's sad, but I mean, going on strike was not a smart idea. I know it sounds, I don't know what they're going through, but at the same time, you have to understand that if AI is taking over, you better. People are not going to like what I'm saying, but you guys are going to have to humble yourselves and find, better get down with AI because you're going to be obsolete. I mean, look what they're doing with actors now. They're just taking their face and just have to pay them a little money and they're going to go play around with it. And then they're going to have their screen. They're going to have their movie. All right. That's basically what's going to go down. And people are just going to have to find new ways to adapt. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. All right, that's all I got for now. Hope you like the stream. I'm also on Spotify and Rumble. Other than that, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace.